Here with Washington State women's basketball head coach Kamie Ethridge. Coach, your team couldn't complete the comeback today. You do storm back in the fourth quarter where you put up 27 points in the fourth, but you fall 72-66 here to Utah. Just opening statements, and then we'll open the floor for questions.
I think it's a really good Utah team. I think they're hard to scout in one day. And we made some mistakes. I thought the first half we made so many mistakes in exactly the thing that we wanted to not let them do, and had just such a bad offensive mindset and execution in the second quarter. And I know people don't believe that you can lose a game then, but we never really got a handle on and got our urgency of being a better basketball team until the fourth quarter. And then, good for our team. I'm proud of how they competed and came back. But, again, give a lot of credit to Utah. They're really good and they're hard to guard. And we just weren't quite up for the task today. But we can learn a lot from this game.
We'll open the floor up for questions. We'll go ahead and start with Jamie Bennett, Keith fan. Go ahead, Jamie.
Coach, I know I probably passed the point of moral victories with how much success you guys have had lately, but are there positives you can take out of that fourth quarter where you outscore them by 13 and really do come within a few points, a couple baskets, a couple missed lay-ins and free throws away from actually pulling off that comeback, being down 19 heading in?
Yeah, I think the moral victory is, we just had an unbelievable amount of urgency. And, and part of that's maybe a little bit of coaching and us getting a little bit more aggressive on the offensive end based on what people are doing. And, I've got to really watch that and see if our kids are a little bit stuck on being playing a little bit too careful early in the game. But I just think, it's tangible. Sometimes I think it's the worst thing that can happen to start a game 8-0 on the road when you're playing a good team. Or 8-2, whatever the score was. It came easy. They had to call a timeout. And then sometimes young players, sometimes players that don't have a really elite level competitive mindset, they think it's going to be easy. And it just felt like we got real soft and indecisive. Back to that. Again, we've had a couple of those moments where we really have done that. And, it just carried over. We just couldn't get a handle on anything really offensively. And that second quarter really hurt us. Wanted to clean up the defensive end and then made big mistakes to let them get the lead. Same mistakes that we made in the first half defensively, letting the shots, the way they got their shots, their 3-point shots. And then, I think our kids just really switched to gear and, kind of quit worrying about everything. And they just had urgency on the defensive end, and that translated into, a more aggressive mindset and attacking. And we made some shots, and, it shows that the game is amazing. You can claw yourself back into a game if you just stay with it and don't get too down and continue to compete possession by possession. And I think we lost some of those possessions, and that ends up beating us at the end.
Just kind of in general, did you maybe sense that there were some tired legs and just some tired bodies, just with how much that altitude can come into effect in 2 games in 3 days? Did you kind of sense that maybe there was some tiring out there, especially during that second quarter?
I don't ever want to think our kids, Crystal gets tired. I know she does. And I look at her, and she's the one that plays the hardest on our team and gives the most energy. And it just doesn't look like she's too tired. So anyone else that acts tired, I'm just like not having it really. Because if she can do what she's doing, then everybody else needs to suck it up a little bit. But I get your point though. And it is true. And trying to get some blows for these guys, especially altitude. This was going to be a hard trip. We've been on the road a lot. This is a hard trip. Probably if we had looked at the start and said, if you could split this is awesome. We got the split. It's just disappointing in that, we just didn't compete as well as we could have, I think, and let it get away a little bit before the fourth quarter. Again, yeah, great things that we can take from this. Unbelievable things. Yes, we need more depth. Yes, we need players to come in and be locked in on what we're supposed to do, and make sure that we're doing, offensively, they need to give us a punch, maybe not scoring, but an energy, and do it right, and not limiting mistakes. And we got to keep building that. I don't think we're there. And I'm clearly very comfortable with our starters and they get a lot of the minutes, but we got to keep building the subbing and trying to get these guys some rest, especially coming up with a 3-game week again.
Thanks, Coach. Safe travels back to Pullman.
Thanks, Jamie.